Hi, this is Nick with Tim Bell Pod, and here's 10 facts on Mean Gene Okerlund. Gene was a casual wrestling fan growing up, watching guys like Vern Gagne, who he'd later work for, but his first love was music. He had a band called Gene Carroll and the Shades, who put out an album called In This Corner. They were actually inducted into the South Dakota Music Hall of Fame. We have a video up with the song, but if you type in Gene Carroll and the Shades, it will pop up just about everywhere. Gene's wife was also named Jean. It was spelled with a J, but that's still a G move by Mean Gene. Gene went to college for broadcast journalism, but it was when he relocated to Minneapolis to work as a program director for the TV station KDWB that he ended up getting into wrestling. The AWA ran out of that station, and one day, around April of '71, Gene was asked to fill in for a ring announcer and interviewer that was sick. Obviously crushing it, Gene would be full-time with the AWA by the end of the '70s. The name Mean Gene was given to him by Jesse Ventura. The body was apparently telling a crazy story about hanging out with the Rolling Stones, when Gene kinda needled him about it not being true. Jesse replied, "You're mean, Gene," and it just stuck. Hulk Hogan played a big role in recruiting Mean Gene to the WWF. They were not only pals in their AWA days, but Gene also played a big part in helping Hulk with his promos. So when Terry headed to New York in '83, he had to bring his main man Mean Gene. Gene had his first wrestling match in WWF when he and Hulk took on Mr. Fuji and George Still in '84. This match is accompanied by some pretty epic and funny workout promos. But on top of that, Gene won a tag match in WCW, a street fight in WCW, and much later a tag match with Sheamus in WWE, making him 4-0. Mean Gene was undefeated. Who's next? When the singer who was supposed to sing the national anthem at WrestleMania 1 no-showed, Mean Gene stepped up on short notice and crushed it. Gene had an absurd work ethic. At WWF's peak, they were running A shows, B shows, and C shows. And as the main backstage interviewer, that meant Gene had to do promos for each market with each wrestler, leading to him hosting over 100 promos on tape days. And that was on top of hosting other shows, cutting sketches for Coliseum Video, and working live events. At '89 SummerSlam, Gene was interviewing Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan when the SummerSlam sign in the background fell off the wall, causing Gene to scream, "Fuck it." While this was a pre-tape, the editors accidentally loaded up the wrong clip for the show and accidentally aired the blooper clip. Upon hearing Gene drop the F-bomb, they immediately cut to a crowd shot while Vince was screaming into the headset for commentary to cover, so Jesse just went, "That Mean Gene is a real troublemaker." Mean Gene was inducted into the 2006 WWE Hall of Fame, and it is beyond deserved. To call Mean Gene the best at what he did still somehow doesn't encapsulate how great he was. Gene was there for just about every big moment in wrestling history. He's one of the all-time great actors, improvisers, comedians, and of course interviewers. Gene was just an all-around legend, and wrestling would never be the same without him. For more pro wrestling history, check out Tim Bell Pod on your favorite podcast app or find us on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok.